is Sewing Machines 101. So first, have a look at your machine. If you've got it brand new out of the box, then it's going to have a instruction manual, so read it all the way through. Make sure you know all the safety concerns. Most of these machines don't have anything that's particularly dangerous unless you want to put your finger under a needle, and then it's kind of up to you, because you have to go sometimes to actually hurt yourself using one of these. Basic parts of a sewing machine: you've got your cotton reel holders. Some have one or two, some have them on the back, on the sides, whichever. Some have got a first one and a second one with a hole in it, so that you can guide your thread through, or you can have two running at the same time, whichever. And then you've got your bobbin filler, so it normally has a little screw topped device up here, so you can control how much thread goes onto your bobbin reel. Either or, you'll have a wheel on one side which you always turn away from you. If you turn it towards you when you've got a thread in, or you've got fabric in, you can knot up the fabric, so always turning away from you. And then you've got a width selector. Depending on your model, that might be on the side, or you might have your stitch selector on the side, so whichever. And then this one, I've got a selection of different stitches, including buttonholes, which you'll get to a later video. So I can pick whichever stitch I want, and you can see the needle moves inside its little thing. Foot plate, work plate, badge. And then you have, as you move your wheel along, you have the little arm that comes up, which is your tensioning arm, and next to that you've got a wheel that sets the tension. Most of the time you don't need to change it. It's set up the way the machine works. The only time you want to change it is if you get quite advanced and you're doing different techniques, kind of shearing or whatever, then you want to change that. This one here's got a small thread cutter just above the needle, which I find just causes no end of issues, so I don't bother using that. And then your needle fits in here, and then you've got your presser foot and a little lever for putting it up and down. Some have a detachable table like this. Some will have kind of a drop down thing where you have to lift it up. Again, depending on the model of machine you've got. You need to be aware of when you're using it is that you'll get a collection of dust and fluff inside here, and once every 6 months to a year, depending on how much you use it, you want to clear that out and give it a good oiling with sewing machine oil, not just standard WD-40 or anything. So it'll also come with this little thing which holds the bobbin inside the machine. If you lose that, you're in trouble. Most kits nowadays come with two. Old-fashioned ones, you're lucky if you get one. So what else you need with the sewing machine is thread on a bobbin. And I'm not going to show you how to do a bobbin on this model, because each model has a different way of doing it. So okay, I realised what I put in that first 3-minute thing was a bit of a cheat. Didn't show you anything really in the actual using of a sewing machine, so I'm going to show you how to set one up, or at least set this one up. They are mostly generic, but some have got slightly different organisation of where things go. So first thing you need to do is fill your bobbin. So best to stick your thread on wherever it goes. This one's got a little guide through the second thread spindle, which is helpful. So tuck the end of your thread into your bobbin and give it a spin. This one works anti-clockwise, no, clockwise. So take off the end, put it onto the little clip here, and then pull the thread around. There's a tensioning nut just here, and then click this over into place. That engages with the little gear on the inside of most machines. I've got a little button here on my main wheel which turns the needle off, stops the needle moving whilst this is on. So at whatever speed feels comfortable, you start spinning like that. You can see it filling up. Sometimes the thread might drop off the bobbin. That's something you've got to play with. Get your levels with that. And there's a little adjuster normally on the side, a little arm that pokes in, and with a screw on the top, and that determines how much thread goes onto your bobbin, because you can set this up to fill whilst you're sewing if you want to. So always remember to disengage this, and if you've got a button that separates it off as well, remember to turn that back to the sewing function. So hold your bobbin like this with the thread to the right, put it into the little cradle, and then move the thread up and round until it's in the space there. And then with the little arm facing upwards, that goes into the machine. They normally have a click, so it's pushed in a click. And then you can bring your thread down, and if they've got an arrow on, that's always helpful, that shows you where it goes. And most machines have got kind of a reverse in. So you go up and down and then throw a tensioning arm here, and then down to the needle. So, thread onto the needle, and holding on to your feed end, turn the wheel, and you can watch from the inside as it takes the thread down and it catches the bobbin thread, which then pops up. So you tuck that down under your presser foot and ready to sew. So that's setting up a sewing machine. So I'll say sewing machine 102.